What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, legendary, former undisputed heavyweight world champion, superstar, iconic boxer, Iron Mike Tyson, and legendary former four-division world champion, iconic superstar boxer, Roy Jones Jr., held their press conference to promote their upcoming legendary showdown November 28th in Los Angeles, California at the Staples Center, as they will square off against one another in a legend showdown that will be 8 two-minute rounds. Neither was happy with the fact that the Boxing Commission, the California State Athletic Boxing Commission, voted to have this fight only have 2-minute rounds. They both said that, the female boxers box 2-minute rounds. Their whole career, they've been doing this since they was young. They've been used to boxing as a professionals for 3-minute rounds, and they were not happy with the fact that the Boxing Commission voted that they could only have 2 8-minute rounds. With that said, 8 2-minute rounds. With that said, a lot of things were revealed in this press conference. One in which they both went at legendary, undefeated, retired, former pound-for-pound king, former 5-division world champion, Floyd Money Mayweather. They went in on Floyd Mayweather when asked about Floyd Mayweather, stating that there's absolutely too many titles in the sport of boxing. They stated that, never mind there being too many titles in the sport of boxing, how about you just go, as in our day, we just wanted to go collect all the belts. Don't complain about how many belts there are. Go collect all the belts. Beat whoever you got to beat to get every single belt. Don't complain about all the belts. Well, I think they misunderstood what Floyd Mayweather was trying to say. Because, see, they don't understand that in today's sport, you have the WBC having 2 and 3 champions for one belt. You have the WBA having 2 and 3 and 4 champions for one belt. So on and such, right? We have 4 major sanction bodies, and this is the case. You have regular champions, diamond champions, super champions, intercontinental champions, interim champions. There's so many champions within the sport of boxing under one sanction body in one division. I think that's where the disconnect comes in, where they miss what Floyd Mayweather was trying to say when they said there's too many belts and there's too much confusion within the sport, because it absolutely is too many belts and too much confusion within the sport of boxing. This came out of a question that was asked about why is the WBC sanction body sanctioning this fight when they have no plans to continue moving forward, and they have no implications on the ranking system. Why is the WBC creating a belt for them? They both stated that, it just raised the stakes for them. It just heightens, the competition for them amongst each other. But they stated that, you want to collect every belt possible. That's what it was about, not about collecting all the money like Floyd Mayweather, right? So I have to disagree with them when they say, well, we went, it didn't matter what belt it was or what color it was, or no, any implications. It's just that we wanted to collect all the belts in the division. See, that's where the disconnect is. Like I stated, they don't understand what Floyd Mayweather is saying. It's impossible for you to collect all the belts in one division because there's so many belts under one sanction body that you absolutely cannot do that. It's not possible. Okay, so they misunderstood where Floyd Mayweather was coming from, but you could tell there was some underlying, disdain there. There's definitely some tension there, right? Between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather. There's no doubt about that. Roy Jones immediately got offensive and said, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you say. I do what I want to do. I'm Roy Jones Jr. This is what Roy Jones had to say regarding the Floyd Mayweather, right? He immediately got defensive. He said, he ain't nothing like us. He ain't nothing like me, and he ain't nothing like us. Mike Tyson is just like me. Mike Tyson wanted to collect every single belt. It wasn't about the money. It was about your legacy. So obviously, there's some underlying tension there between the three guys, right? And then once it got to them, they were asked about this being an exhibition. Mike Tyson was asked, this is simply going to be an exhibition. Mike Tyson lost it. Mike Tyson stated, this is not an exhibition. We're going to have on 12-ounce gloves. That's only 2 ounces above the normal 10-ounce gloves that we used to putting on for this fight, and there's no headgear. We don't care about what the boxing commission is only letting us fight 2-minute rounds. He said, you give us 3-minute rounds that let us set up. Roy Jones said, you give us 3-minute rounds that let us set up a big punch, gives us a little more time to set up a big punch somewhere down the line or strategize in the fight. But you best believe we're going to let them fly once we get in there. And Roy Jones stated that you can't believe that you getting in there with Mike Tyson with 12-ounce gloves on, like they both stated, 2 ounces above their natural fighting gloves of 10 ounces, with no headgear, under the lights, and think that Mike Tyson is not going to let him fly. This is a real fight. I don't care what nobody says, is what Roy Jones said. He said, this is a real fight, and so did Mike Tyson. He backed it. Mike Tyson says he is trying to absolutely disable Roy Jones. He said, I'm going there with bad intentions. I'm going in there to disable Roy Jones, point blank and period. I'm going in there to survive and lay it all on the line. And I hope Roy Jones is going in there with the same intentions. Roy Jones kind of laughed that off. This is clearly, Mike Tyson is not training and not getting back in shape and not looking to get in that ring and prove a point. Mike Tyson stated that the old Mike Tyson, he got the old feeling of the old Mike Tyson back. He said his last fight, he didn't even want to be in the ring. He was simply fighting for the money. He said it had everything to do with revenue, nothing to do with competitive nature. It has everything to do with me having no money and needing money, and everything not to do with my legacy. So now he's saying it's back to just the feeling of him doing what he was doing when he was 13 and going through the ranking system, trying to become a world champion and building himself up. He's stating that this is an absolute fight. He's not looking at it as an exhibition. He says he hopes Roy Jones is preparing and prepping and has the mindset of that they are going to battle. They're not going in there for an exhibition. It is a regular boxing match as far as they're concerned. So this is, Roy Jones expressed a little hesitation on his part leading up into this press conference, as Roy Jones said he might have made a mistake signing this contract. And then recently he stated that the rules were tilted in the favor of Mike Tyson because they want to see Mike Tyson successful. They want to see Mike Tyson as the more sellable, figure out of the two. Obviously, Mike Tyson is 3 years Roy's elder. Mike Tyson is 54. Roy Jones is 51. But Mike Tyson is definitely have more tread on the tires than Roy Jones. If you're going to try to promote and sell anybody, it's going to be Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson just has, more flair. He just has more in the tank, and he's just more believable, right? And if you see Mike Tyson on the pads, you see Mike Tyson ferociousness, his mentality. It's a whole different mentality. Roy Jones is nothing to play with, but Mike Tyson right now is a whole different mentality. It's a whole different ball game. Mike Tyson stated that it was a possibility that Shannon Briggs was going to be an option. There was a possibility that Evander Holyfield was going to be an option. Mike Tyson stated that now Roy Jones is in front of me. So Mike Tyson is planning on continuing forward. He said, I'm going to continue on with this as long as they so allow me. So you can expect Mike Tyson to compete after this, and I'm expecting a knockout. From the way Mike Tyson's body language is and from the body language of Roy Jones, Roy Jones' competitive nature is not going to allow him to hold back, but I sense hesitation on the part of Roy Jones as he feels like, first of all, this is a fight at heavyweight. Roy Jones only competed at heavyweight one time in his career, and he did so just, making a cameo appearance at the heavyweight division for his legacy, not to campaign there. This is a division, this is a weight that Mike Tyson is used to moving around and maneuvering. So you can expect Mike Tyson to go in there and look for the knockout victory over Roy Jones Jr. Then Mike Tyson stated that he's absolutely looking to continue forward. He said, this is the Legend League. I'm looking to campaign in this league. I'm looking to, do this until they tell me I absolutely cannot do it no more. So expect to see Mike Tyson versus Shannon Briggs. Brownsville, Brooklyn on deck. Maybe at the Barclays Center next year, if things open back up, that would be beautiful. At the height of Mike Tyson's reign, there was no Barclays Center. At the height of Shannon Briggs' reign, there was no Barclays Center. The Barclays Center is literally in the backyard of Mike Tyson and Shannon Briggs. That is a massive sell. That is a massive draw. That is a revenue machine. Believe that. You will get everybody coming in, showing up, and showing out. Believe that. So with that said, expect there to be, tension flying November 28th. And they both ripped into Floyd Mayweather. They misunderstood Floyd Mayweather, but like I stated, you could definitely see there's definitely some underlying tension there. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hey, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.